All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game number 1 between these two players in our PvP or mirror matchup. Give it up over here in the top left-hand corner for one of my favorite players and Protoss that inspires me to this day, the blue Protoss player. It's Harstem.
And on the other side, it is representing Finland, making his comeback. Let's see if he can do it. Give it up for Welmu. I'm not sure what team he's on right now. I remember he used to be on... Was he on Euronics or am I... Maybe not.
Oh, are you talking about Welmu?
Welmu? No, he was on... Oh, he's on ENTS. That's actually his team. He wasn't on... I'm thinking Neurosoft, way back in Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah. Regardless, this is going to be a PvP, and I always sort of feel bad for Harstem. Because Harstem, like, he's always trying to live up to this Year of Harstem thing. But, like, let's be real. The list of players that have actually had, like, a year where they... Like, a whole year where they've been consistently doing well is a very, very small list. Like, the whole Year of Harstem thing was just saying, oh, this is going to be the year that Harstem does well. But now it's like, anytime Harstem does well in the year, they're like, Year of Harstem! And then later on in the year, he won't do well during, like, a small period of a couple of months or something. And people are like, oh, Harstem is like, I guess it's the Year of Harstem, ironically, guys. They're like, no, he was doing well earlier.
It's like, nope. You made it to December, and then you lost that one online tournament for $35, and nope, it's no longer your year anymore.
Yeah, man.
So here we have a little different openers, and I was actually asking, I forget who it was, but when it comes to PvP, and you get the double adept versus the double stalker opener, like how do you feel? Who has the better advantage, or is it better to go for it?
I think
the double stalker.
I think the best way to think about it is not necessarily like, oh, such and such player has an has the advantage. I think it's better to think about it as what is the advantage that each of these players get. So the adept opening, obviously it's nice because you get to your opponent's side of the map, you get a nice scout out, and you get to also potentially kill off a couple of workers. Like, all of that is really nice. Having those stalkers though is obviously really nice when you get into like blink stalkers, and a lot of the time that's what it kind of goes into. So it's like better for the army composition. You can ward away a mothership core. I think in a lot of those ways, the stalker opening kind of works out better.
Oh wow!
Ooh,
yeah, like
whoa,
you
this
said already. Here
is a
comes
lot
the damage. Good surround, but he loses 5 of his workers, and he has to use a photon overcharge in order to actually deal with that. And behind it all, Harstem is able to get his expansion up at the same time.
Harstem,
so I think that was actually pretty nice.
That's definitely a really nice trade. When you trade out the adepts, you usually want to kill like maybe 3-ish workers, 3 to 4 workers. I think is pretty good. 5 workers is kind of going above and beyond, but also getting a scout out and seeing like, wait a second, my opponent has a. I think he saw the Twilight Council. He didn't quite see the Twilight Council, but he saw enough stalkers, like the 4 stalkers coming out. I think should at least be a little bit of reveal, but also seeing that there was no Nexus should already be a big scare of like, wait a second, all right, I gotta play hyper defensive right now.
Oh, and the stalker of Harstem, he sees it.
He doesn't just see it, he's gonna be able to kill the pylon. There's nothing that's gonna be over here to defend this in time.
Absolutely shut down his Welmu, and having a gateway up there is not gonna do much if it doesn't turn into a warp gate.
It's not even just that, it's about the fact that this gateway placement for turning things into warp gate relies on warping in over the rocks, because otherwise the warping is so far away. So, oh god, losing it again. I guess he can maybe warp in a little bit on the low. No, I don't even think he can warp in low ground. I think he has to walk all the way around.
Oh my god, this is an absolute disaster here for Welmu, especially because Harstem gets notified of it so early. He has the Nexus, so he knows that all he needs to do is defend. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, yeah, he invested more into the economy, and Welmu invested more into the army, but he has so much time to prepare for it, you know?
Yeah, more than enough time. In fact, I think he actually might have more stalkers now. Blink is obviously going to be very useful for Welmu in this situation. Maybe going to be able to kill off a sentry. That's definitely pretty nice. But with the Immortals coming out, there's a big timer on this push, and he has to now... You actually have to go after the Immortals if you want to give this push more sustainability. So... He's kind of on a timer to kill the Immortal.
I think he's in so much trouble because he can't blink onto the high ground. Immortals are out, and look at how much energy is on that mothership core. Okay, the pylon goes down, which is pretty big. Energy on a mothership core doesn't matter if you can't photon overcharge. Right?
Yeah, but Welmu's already starting to bleed out some stalkers, and guess what? Immortal number 2 is about to make its way into the composition. If he's gonna be able to at least do a little bit of damage, but I like this. Even Harstem warping in Zealots now to tank those initial shots because he knows all he has to do is continue to buy more time because this is gonna escalate further and further in his favor.
Yeah, this is just gonna snowball so much more here for Harstem, and hey, what about to snowball on with Frozen Temple being here? And I just don't think he's gonna be able to I don't think he's gonna be able to push it on through Welmu.
Yeah.
And he's gonna go for the last ditch effort, which is gonna be the Nexus. Oh man, that's never a good thing.
It's hard. Like, I even feel like in that last engagement, Welmu had a better engagement over there. Like, the force fields are better. They kept the one of the immortals out for the entire fight and everything, but still, just that one immortal and how this game has been going, Harstem has kind of spiraled too far out. And I really just, I don't see how Welmu wins this, because look, he's even losing when bleeding out more stalkers. Maybe he can keep Harstem's army at home with the threat of like, oh, the stalkers might blink through and be annoying and harass me, but I really do feel like as soon as Harstem feels comfortable moving out, he's gonna go for the kill, and he's gonna kill that natural expansion. There's nothing Welmu can do about it.
He is. There's nothing that Welmu is gonna be able to do about it. I mean, yeah, the mothership core has full energy, but you put down 3 pylons here. He's already 50 out of 70 supply. That means it's only gonna be delaying the inevitable, I would say. So the issue that he faces at the moment is that Harstem defended with an economic build. Welmu, you know, kind of hoped that his tech aggressive opener was going to at least do critical damage or maybe even win the game, and it didn't do so.
Yeah. Twilight Council is finished up for Harstem, so he can start researching Blink if he wants to. He's going for like a Forge, and there is Blink. I was going to say, that's like really the only thing that I feel like is keeping him at home at this point. Now he's going to be able to rely on Photon overcharges, as well as just getting out any warp-ins that he needs to deal with 4 or 5 stalkers.
Well, let's see if Welmu can hold here. 2 immortals are going to make short work of pylons as well. So even though, yeah, the Photon overcharges are going to be there, there's only 1 pylon here, Fair Dragon. Oh, no. Yep, I think Welmu's dead. GG.
And it's the year of Harstem, ladies and gentlemen, as he takes game number 1 in the Open North American Qualifier.
Oh, wow. Well, then, that's a semi-final match, as you did note earlier. So,
still best of
whoever does, it's still going to be best of 3, yeah, right?
I do need to double check. Usually the qualifying match, like the final best of 5, or sorry, the final is a best of 5. But I'll have to double check on that when we get to it. Regardless, that is going to be game number 1. Harstem takes a 1-0 lead, and the next map, let's see. I need to scroll way back up. Frost. Frost is going to be the second map. And then we go to Invader. I'm waiting for the day that we have like Frozen Temple, Frost, and then King's Sejong Station. It's just all frozen maps.
Exactly, yeah. Well, congratulations and a big thank you to Jimmy Jam Jars for subscribing to BaseTradeTV 4 months in a row.
Thank you so much. What a boss. Thank you for being on top of that, by the way. For those who are wondering, like, why is Spear Dragon so bad at this? I don't actually have like Twitch alerts or anything set up, so yeah, I do not get the notifications for it, unfortunately. For some reason, and I still don't know why it does it, but if I host, I just got to go onto my channel, and it just shows all of the people that subscribe to Base Trade. So, like, you know, I can pretty much keep track of that really easily. That's smart, man. I should just do that. I didn't notice it. Yeah, I didn't know until I did it, and I was like, oh, this is easy. Yeah, that's actually one really weird thing that's been the case for a while, but I never thought of utilizing that. That's smart. Yep. Unless you have like a super active chat during the host, then it's like, well, that didn't work. All right. Like that wasn't that one of the points of it? They're like, you can host and then people can talk on your chat while you host it. Yet every time you host, you're like, yo, go to their chat, get out of my chat, like leave. I know, right? You need to go home, get the hell out of here. Oh, I just invited Harstem to a party. Shoot. What is going on? All right, well, he joined off of me, I think. Cool. All right. Well, I think that we are ready at this point to hop into the game as soon as the players give the ready. But yes, game number 2. Again, this is the first semifinals. The other semifinals I believe is pretty much guaranteed to be Puck versus
A laser?
Puck versus a laser, as a laser did manage to beat sort of. So we'll see you guys in game number 2 for this particular series. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in game number 2, and we're going to be spawning up here in the top right-hand corner of the map of the semifinals. Top of the purple Protoss player, sitting down 0-1. Give it up for Welmu.
And on the other side, spawning in the bottom right corner, he is the red Protoss player. It is Harstem.
I feel like Welmu's tag. I was gonna say, I feel like Welmu's tag is like it's like it's going to a rave.
Hey man, Welmu, yo, I've seen him actually at an after party before, and he gets down, man. He can throw down.
He's pretty young though, isn't he?
Yeah, but I believe is he 18 yet? I think it was in a place where he could actually drink.
A lot of Europe you can drink.
Loves drink. No, this dude. He's like, yo, shots? Yo? Like, you gonna take some shots? I'm like, no, I can't keep up with you, man. He's like, come on, let's. I think he was at least 18, and we were at like maybe homestay.
For legal purposes, we're gonna say that he was at least 18.
I know, because
just in case.
Shots of 5-hour energy. Yeah. There we go.
Shots fired.
He's 22, man. He's 22. Okay.
Oh wow, that's much
Yeah.
older than I thought he was. I actually thought he was like I thought he was like 20 right now.
Nah, he's good. Whew, we didn't just throw anybody under the bus here.
Regardless, we do have Frost, and it's gonna be a double adept opening, but Harstem is the one that first throw down the tech, and is gonna be at Stargate. Skips out on his mothership core, and also I guess doesn't delay warp gate, so not going to be delaying anything too much, but does delay that mothership core for a little bit to get this out.
Yeah, and they both opened up with the adepts here, so I mean, maybe they'll be able to counter, or at least do counter damage to each other as.
Well, yeah, the irony is that they're both going different ways around the map.
Interesting.
Well, I wonder if that was intentional from Welmu, because that's a pretty roundabout pathway to take to get to your opponent's side.
Yeah. And I mean, he's actually, did he scout it?
He's retreating back. Oh no, sorry. The adepts were just shading in. Well, here we go. Killing off 2 workers so far, and now Harstem actually moves in. Cleans up those adepts already, and his adepts maybe able to get a little bit more done. We'll see.
I don't know. There was a photon overcharge here, yeah, right? And
haven't you ever watched a Protoss player tempo? 0. Defenses never stopped adepts from shading in and trying to focus right down workers.
Well, I don't know.
Those two things are irrelevant.
Yeah, you're like, that actually has nothing to do with anything, tempo.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about PvP.
PvP is adepts are about suiciding in to get as much damage done as possible.
Yep. So what do you think about this one here? Going for the Phoenixes right off the bat. He didn't go for the Oracle opener. He was just like, okay, let's just start it out with the Phoenixes. And how deep is too deep when it comes to Phoenixes, man?
So I think I do like going for the Phoenix opening, just because he did end up seeing the Twilight Council, I guess, so he should know that there's not a Stargate opening from Harstem, but Phoenixes are still nice, and if your opponent does actually have that Oracle opening, I'm not sure, I won't lie, like, I think that he opened up with a Phoenix before he saw the Twilight Council, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
In which case, like, it makes total sense. If your opponent moves in with their Adepts first, and they scout out your Stargate, then you probably don't want to open up with Oracle, because they're likely going to be going into Phoenix.
Yeah.
But either way, Phoenixes can still be nice. It's just, the only thing is, a lot of players do feel like when you go for the Phoenix opening, if you make more than, like, 2-3 Phoenix to just do some harassment like he's doing right now, it really is becoming like a 2-base all-in.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess Welmu doesn't really care. He's like, well, if you're going to be killing my probes, I'm going to make a Nexus here so that I can make even more. But the fact that he's going for Blink does give him that opportunity to at least try to do some kind of attack. Because at least when I think about Phoenixes, I know that if you let them go uncontested and you let the other player just expand and kind of go into their mid game, you're going to be losing workers all day, and in a mirror matchup, they're just going to pretty much get ahead the whole time.
Exactly.
Like, there's no way to really stop them. Like, you can deter them, but you're going to lose them every time. Kind of like how, does he get a, yep, just boop, and then pop out.
And that's the thing. It's similar to the idea of like Mutalists that regenerate their health really quickly. Those Phoenixes will regenerate their shields really quickly. It's so hard for Protoss who don't actually have that much like early game heavy anti-air. You have Stalkers, yes. Blink is also very nice, but there's nothing that can really, unless you have like a really large number of Stalkers, to focus fire down Phoenix. And even then you have to be always prepared for the different angles it can come into for multiple different bases. It's guaranteed to do damage as long as Harstem is controlling his Phoenix well.
Yeah, that's actually really annoying too. So maybe he's gonna have to like invest into cannons as well. But honestly, they don't stop it. Like, they're there, but
that's a deterrent. That's it.
So it's more so maybe about capitalizing on the fact that he's not gonna have as big of a ground army at this point in the game.
Yeah. Of course, I want to note the Phoenix production did stop a while ago. He only stopped at 4, so this is very much capable of moving out into a macro game. But oh, this gateway over by Harstem's third, Welmu is maybe looking to put on a little bit more harassment than Harstem was prepared for. Harstem's entire army is sitting at the natural, not in the third.
Well, you know what? I was surprised. Well, not surprised actually. I was wondering why it was that Welmu just dropped the third, and it makes sense because like the Phoenixes allowed him to kind of have the security that there's not going to be any kind of real crazy attack, most likely. So even though he's losing all of these workers, this third is way far ahead of Harstem.
So you take a look at the armies, and like the army for Welmu looks so much scarier than the army for Harstem. And it's because Harstem not only went for these Immortals, which are getting blunk on right now, but this is just the reason why when you go for that many, all those early Phoenixes, you really do delay your tech, you delay your army, and he's gonna get punished for it. GG.
There you have it. Yeah, GG, man. Welmu ties it up 1-1. And that was like the kind of logic I was thinking of, like, you know what? Harstem, you're gonna commit to Phoenixes, and you better make sure that you're able to deal with what it is that Welmu is gonna be throwing at you. And 2 Immortals just not really in the best position.
Yeah.
Blunked up. He's getting blunked on, son.
We are going to hop to a short little break before we get into game number 3, though. So we'll see you guys in a little bit with the ace match in this series. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are hopping into the ace match in the semifinals for the IEM Shanghai North American Open Qualifier. That's a mouthful, but here we are, spawning up here in the top right-hand corner of the map. The blue Protoss player. Is it still the year of Harstem? Only time will tell. Give it up for Harstem. I said his name already.
And on the other side of things, it is our Finnish red Protoss player. Give it up for Welmu. Representing that.
I mean, Europeans are known for their raves.
This is true. I've never been to a Euro rave, man. I feel like I'm missing out. I've never been to a rave, period, actually, now that I think about it.
You are one of the people that I really would have expected has gone to a rave.
I've been to, I mean, it wasn't a rave. It was when dubstep first came out, and we were in New York, and they're like, we're going to the dubstep club. I'm like, what the hell's dubstep?
Dubstep.
I had no idea what I was doing. So, yeah,
I also like that. That's almost subtle, like, oh, when dubstep first came out, I was there.
I was there, yeah, man. The reason why it died too.
You're the reason why it died. I was there and like, nope, too many people know. Move on.
Nope, shut it down, boys. Shut it down.
Oh boy.
Well.
Well, as you were saying, it is PvP, and we do have another 2-gate opening coming out for both these players. There have been a couple times I've seen PvPs where players don't open up 2-gate. It's like not many, but I've seen it a couple of times. The other thing I was gonna say is once or twice I've seen players go for the like 2-gate opening, but after they think that their opponent's gonna open up with stalkers or something along those lines, and they just opt to only make 1 unit, and they just get out their tech a little bit faster instead. So I've seen like kind of weird variations.
It's like a safety measure, or
yeah, it's like a safety measure. Like, oh, go for the 2-gate. Oh, I think I can get away with this, like without doing making 2 units, and then you just get out your tech a little bit faster. But we are seeing both of these players going for the Stalkers, not going for the Adept opening.
No, both of them gonna do it. It's kind of funny because the first game it was Stalker versus Adept, and then it was Adept versus Adept, and now it's Stalker versus Stalker. So kind of an interesting little turn of events here in game number 3.
Super interesting. Welmu is actually being very active about scouting around for what I would assume is a proxy Stargate, or just the Adepts maneuvering around. He's expecting maybe 2 Adepts to be coming out at him, but since there is none, I mean, he even moved out the Mothership Core to like halfway through the center of the map, which I feel like would have gone to like that area to the left of the main base if he was worried about proxy Stargate. So
yeah, but
just playing extra.
There's a lot of Stalkers coming out of both of the players right now, right? Like, I was gonna say, do you assume you would put down a Twilight, or either of them would? But we see a Robo coming out here already out of Harstem, and there goes the Robo coming out here for Welmu as well. So.
You know, I'm not sure what it is about this map, but I do see, for the most part, like pretty fast tech ups into Robo more than anything else on this map. Like, I've seen a couple of games where you see like some of the Stargate plays and everything, but for the most part, it really does seem to go into not just like fast Robo and getting out Immortals and stuff. It seems to go into pretty fast Disruptors on this map very often.
Oh.
I'm not really sure why.
Okay.
But it's just a trend that I tend to notice.
Okay, well that's actually pretty cool. I mean, we've seen many different styles already so far, but it definitely seemed to be the Blink Stalker showing up in all of these games in some way, shape, or form. Oh, what was that?
Nice. I mean, it's a bit of a trade over there. Trade out a Stalker and trade out a Stalker for a Sentry and a Photon Overcharge. So, I mean, Harstem has more than enough energy on that Mothership Core to Photon Overcharge more, but just sort of an interesting trade. I really do like the trade though. Because even though Stalker is technically more expensive, a Sentry is very important for building up that energy, and it's not just for the Force Fields, although those are really helpful. It's a lot for the Hallucinate Phoenix Scouts, so keep an eye on your opponent and see when they do those transitions out to Robotics Bay, or if they're continuing to produce Immortals, or if they're going for a 3rd.
Okay, all right. I can dig it, and yeah, I mean, we even see like such similar builds out of both of them, right? With the double Sentry, even though Harstem got one of his sniped, and then they're both going to be going into the Twilight, but neither of them have utilized it yet. There goes one, Welmu opting to go for the Blink, and I haven't seen any other further tech. So I mean, just adding the Immortals into it on a map like this. Do you really see one of them breaking the other, especially if they're going to be going for the same style, or is it just like we are going to see that macro style transitions?
So I think one of the coolest things about PvP, and if it gets to this kind of stage where it is Blink Stalker Immortal Sentry versus Blink Stalker Immortal Sentry, is that it is a very micro-based thing, and the bigger army doesn't always win, the higher tech army doesn't always win. And that's what's the kind of cool thing about it, is that's not always super predictable. It really does come down a bit to skill. And that's,
you know what I saw in Pro League too? SOS, I believe it was, or maybe it was, I don't remember if it was Trust or SOS, but the use of the Immortal Shield, like having similar armies, and then the difference between Barrier Micro was what like really set the battle in the other person's favor. It's inferior up.
You just made me realize something, actually. I don't really know if the observer interface shows me whether a player has Immortal Barrier autocast turned on or off.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know that.
Don't know.
It shows them all on for me, so I'll assume that they're on. I would actually say, like, despite the fact that I think there's a general consensus that if you can handle the micro, it's better to keep it off and to manually trigger Immortal Shields. I feel like I've seen most players keep it on, because I see it get triggered all the time.
Yeah. Well, just kind of like a thought, I guess, right? Where it's like, if you want to make certain differences as possible.
Yeah. Blink is not finished up for Harstem over here, though, and this is going to be a bit of a problem. His force fields are really good, though. Pylon Photon Overcharge on the high ground, actually focus firing down that Immortal. Really good pickup from Welmu, though. Keeps it alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, but keep in mind also that Harstem invested in the 400 minerals here. The Photon Overcharge is not even doing anything on the high ground, so Welmu, I think his army value is actually just going to trump that of Harstem's.
Oh.
And he gets the Mothership Core.
Oh, and there goes the usability that would have been, or the niceness that would have come from that pylon, the high ground. And Harstem is just losing all of his immortals. He's having to pull his probes. And anytime a Protoss player is pulling probes, you know they are pretty much done. GG gets called, and Welmu advances on to that qualifying match.
Oh my god, and Harstem coming to terms with it. Maybe he walked away from his computer.
Yeah, he's just like...
taking a new calendar. He's like, this calendar doesn't work either for the year. So he's gonna go get another one, and he's like,
oh god. Did he legitimately walk away from his computer?
I honestly think he's taking a new calendar. He's ordering it on Amazon.com.
Oh my god. Maybe on his phone or something. This is...
He's making a tweet.
Alright, GG, there it is. Well done. Welmu advances on.
Oh my god. Alright, well, GG, man. Welmu is going to take that. Faces off against either a laser or Puck in the final match.
Indeed.
So,
I think that we are going to have to a short little break while we do the server swap. Since this last series was on Europe, those two players, I mean, like 2 European players, why would you play in North America? This next one will give default server advantage to Puck. Although, you know what? It's funny because Puck is... I won't say Puck is weird because I love Puck. But Puck is weird in the sense that he will sometimes, like, he'll be playing in a North American qualifier that's supposed to be played on an NA server. And he'll have to play against, like, State or something in, like, a Passport qualifier. And what'll end up happening is Puck will be like, no, or sorry, he'll play like versus a Korean or like, you know, State in Korea. And like, no, that's fine. We can play on Korea. I'm used to playing with a lag. I'm like, you have home server advantage and you're giving it up to give not only like a, it's not like a midway point. It's I'm giving home server advantage to my opponents.
yeah, it's not exactly. He does that a lot. And he's perfectly cool with it too. So I don't know if it's like a confident thing or if it's just like, you know, sure, buddy. Like, he's always like that. Even when you're just like talking to him, like, yeah, he's a very selfless individual.
Ooh. Oh, looks like they've just been waiting for us. So, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. True. So let's do it.
Things started. Since the lobby is already here.
All right. Well, we're already in here. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. And just like that, we're gonna jump into our next one. But I believe we might go to a quick break beforehand.
Yeah, I think that we're hopping to a short little break. So we'll see you guys in just a little bit.